Is the current city you reside in dull, boring, and lacking in the fun department? Is cost-push inflation due to rising gas prices depriving you of a decent standard of living and your ability to keep up with the Joneses? Are fast-moving, competent police officers non-existent in your town? Are you worried about your health and safety because your town lacks a hospital? If you or someone you know is currently facing any of the problems mentioned, you should continue watching. Before I give the solution to the problems, though, allow me first to introduce myself. My name is Jordan Romer. I have a PhD in marketing from collegedonemegood.edu. My diploma was written in crayon and mailed to me on the non-printed side of a Kellogg's Cornflakes box. The problems I mentioned earlier are easily fixable and can be solved simply by becoming a resident of Mauston. And I'm going to use the next few minutes in this short film to prove it. Let's start with some fun recreational activities. What you see now is the Lemon River that flows through Mauston. Another body of water, not in Mauston, but just a short drive north away from the city, is Castle Rock Lake. The Lemon River and Castle Rock Lake are great locations to fish, to boat, or to water ski. There are wooded areas close to the city's limits that are great for hunting. Bucks are abundant and often rival horses in their size and stature. The dense forest and seldom traveled roads south of Mauston provide you an excellent, secluded location for a park and stab. I'm not suggesting anything, I'm just saying. Let's move on and check out the city's public library. The Hatch Public Library has thousands of books for those interested in reading. That is, if you're into that sort of thing. The library has a wide selection of books from a wide variety of genres, as well as books for all ages. Over a dozen computers are provided with internet access that allow you to browse the World Wide Web, make purchases online, funnel money in offshore bank accounts, or to use the computers to stalk your ex on Facebook. The library is always beautifully decorated this time of year, and the main attraction is the huge, well-adorned Christmas tree in the center of the library. Small study rooms are also present, and very comfortable chairs are in arrangements throughout the library. Let's head on over to the bowling alley. This is our local bowling alley and is attached to Angero's Bar. I'm not going to explain the bowling alley any further. I'm sure the viewers know how bowling is played. Angero's is one of the many bars to be found in Mauston and is hopping on a Wednesday night after bowling. Some other popular bars are located on the main drag. All of them have pool tables, darts, and serve alcoholic beverages as well as non-alcoholic beverages. The bar scene is alive and well in Mauston, and the bars allow for a place for you to relax and socialize with friends, family, and coworkers. The bars also provide a place to watch football with the fellas while your wife is at home cleaning your dilapidated man cave. The town alcoholic, Mr. Smith, can be found outside Randall's bar every Saturday night in a drunken stupor exclaiming the end is near. Enough of Mr. Smith, though. Let's take a look at the skate park in Riverside Park. Riverside Park has a nice little skate park for the younger crowd to skateboard at. As you can see on the back of this quarter pipe, some artistic juvenile delinquents in the community spray painted some nice artwork that can be viewed from the road. Make sure you wear a helmet and protective gear when you skateboard. It's all fun and games until your brain hemorrhages. Let's take a look at some retailers in Mauston that offer goods at ridiculously low prices. I'm standing at the outer edge of a continuous parking lot that provides parking for patrons to Kmart and Festival Foods. Kmart has a wide selection of goods priced ridiculously lower than any other retailer. Need an example? You can get a phony 75-inch 4D HD TV with a built-in PS5 system refreshing at an astonishing 1000 Hz. The TV has a 2000-watt 14.1 home theater surround system included, all just for $1,000. With prices this low, your standard of living will skyrocket, and the Joneses' home will be in foreclosure as they try to keep up with you. Moving on, at Festival Foods you'll find fresh produce, fresh meat, and a wide variety of other foods you eat at ridiculously low prices. The prices are so low that you'll be staring in disbelief at the item's price tag. When you spot an item on sale, you'll find yourself yelling hysterically, and believe it or not, the sound of your voice does not disturb the other customers. It attracts more of them. They join in and begin yelling hysterically also. After about 5 minutes of yelling, the customer's vocal cords are destroyed and they begin removing the sale item from the shelf until it is sold out. Mauston also has an auto parts store, hardware stores, and a couple of stores that switch from dollar stores to penny stores in order to compete with Kmart and Festival Foods. Now let's talk about the local law enforcement. Mauston's police officers are anything but slow reacting and incompetent, and we have some footage, a story, and an interview to prove it. What you're watching now is a scrap film that was planned on being used, but it was eventually ditched after we lacked the time to complete this version of the film. I'm talking about some general qualities about Mauston, and a fake kidnapping is occurring in the background on the other side of the river. Creation, to start a family, even you could live here for sure, or maybe even as a place to The cameraman shut off the camera, but I'll give you a synopsis of the events that quickly followed. I'll even ask the man in the black dress a few interview questions afterwards. The brave woman continued to attempt to block the kidnapper while honking her horn, but the abductor eventually got around the woman's car and quickly sped away. The woman dialed 911, and within 5 minutes the abductor and abductee were pulled over, coerced out of the car by officers with guns drawn, and were immediately told to face forward and get on the ground. They were then handcuffed and searched, and while this was all going on, the road was blocked off, and officers had them surrounded with a total of 6 squad cars on the scene. I'm here with Samuel Talbert, the male abductee, who was wearing a woman's dress, and I'm going to ask him a few questions regarding his run-in with the police. At what moment in time do you believe that you had the police officers convinced that you were acting in a scene for a video project?
After I explained why I was wearing a dress.
What did you learn from all this?
Oh boy. Well, don't publicly cross-dress, especially while wearing a wig and carrying a purse. That's for sure. You make matters worse when filming a pretend crime and you getting arrested by mistake. Definitely. People drive by staring at you while you're being arrested, and they see you like that.
Looking back, what makes you laugh?
Probably when the officer said, "Man in the dress, back up slowly."
The final aspect that makes Mauston a great place to live is having a hospital within the city limits. For example, let's say Barbie and you were going out on a date, and you had just gotten done eating. Barbie and you hopped back into your Jeep and were ready to head back to your place for some coffee. While driving, you got stuck behind a 90-year-old man who was slowly crossing an intersection. He finally crossed the intersection and you followed him, but you didn't pay attention to oncoming traffic. So you're out in the middle of the intersection and you wind up getting T-boned by a man driving a lifted Ford F-1000. Barbie was not wearing a seatbelt and was thrown 40 yards. While you were crying over your totaled Jeep, Barbie was being treated at Hess Memorial Hospital for road rash, multiple broken bones, several dislocated vertebral discs, and a shattered pelvis. The doctors were also removing pieces of concrete embedded in her face. After being in a coma for 40 days, she finally regained consciousness. 20 days later, she was back to normal, except for a few blemishes on her face. If this actually happened, Barbie would be lucky the accident happened in Mauston, and she'd be quickly rushed to Mauston's Hess Memorial Hospital for treatment. Had the accident occurred in a town like Necedah or New Lisbon with no hospital, the story would have ended much worse. For those of you looking for a city containing a hospital with well-trained doctors using state-of-the-art medical equipment, look no longer. Mauston is the city for you. We hope to see some new faces in Mauston, and that concludes our video.